Hi, welcome to KatieOTalks. My name's Katie and this is where I talk about my hobbies. So a follow-up to the last couple of videos, I'm trying to just keep on a consistent schedule, partially because I want to hold myself accountable in creating some consistency with my hobbies like I talked about, and also I just think it's fun to the idea of recording what I'm doing. And so I just wanted to update you on what I've completed in the last 24 hours. So first of all, I have finished my first 2 ounces of yarn that I spun up on my EEW Nano. It is definitely thicker than I was hoping, but it is also a little bit more consistent than I was expecting. It's not terribly consistent and it is definitely underspun in quite a few areas, but it's more consistent than I was anticipating. It is definitely not a lot of yardage because I definitely made it a little bit thicker than what I was hoping to do. So I'm going to see what I can end up making out of it, but I am going to try to make the lighter color as well a similar weight so that I can knit those two things together into one project. I'm not exactly sure what I'll do with that yet, but we will see. I'm sure I can come up with something. I also just wanted to show you because I was going to wet finish this today. I have not actually done that. So while I was gonna do that, I had another yarn that I spun a while ago, but it had been sitting on my bobbins, and so I finally took that off the bobbins and I used my Knitting Naughty to create this little hank, and I just wanted to show you kind of the last yarn that I made, which is made from the Knit Picks Wool of the Andes roving. I used I'm not sure of the names of the different ones, but I used a brown color, a green color, and an orange color, and I did a single ply of each color, and then I just plied all of those together into one yarn, and I think it's made a really beautiful yarn. I do think it's a lot more consistent than the one that I just completed, but I think part of that is because I haven't spun in a very long time and I was trying to spin thicker. So I think that that's probably why I have more consistency with this one. I definitely have a lot more yardage here as well. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't weighed this to see how much I spun, but I definitely think I'll be able to get a little bit more of a project out of this one than I will out of the other yarn, just because this is so thick that I didn't really get a ton of yardage out of it, which is totally fine. I'm sure that I'll be able to make something, and the big thing is practice, because I am still very, very new. I'm new to spinning altogether. I mean, I've been spinning on a drop spindle for a while, so I feel a little bit better about that, but I'm definitely especially new to spinning on an e-spinner, and so I am very happy to make subpar yarn because that's part of the learning process. So yeah, anyway, that is where I'm at with my spinning, and then I will start the next color tomorrow that I plan on spinning up, and I have a few different pieces that I will end up working on as time goes on. But the next thing that I have completed, well, almost completed, I haven't actually sewn up the top yet, but I made a hat to go into my donations situation. So I just kind of freestyled it a little bit. I did a garter stitch brim instead of a ribbed brim, and then normally I just do a rib and then stockinette, but I added this seed stitch panel in it just because I thought that was cute. I like the idea of just like a panel of something on a hat. I've seen the Tin Can Knits has one with a garter stitch panel. I've seen where there's just like a single cable and things like that. So I thought that was kind of cute, and I thought if somebody wants something that is a little bit slouchier, this would be a good option, because there's no reason that they shouldn't be able to have something cute just because it's a donation. So I thought that turned out really cute. I like it. I like the colors. This is the K&C, I think it's like alpaca cloud or cloud alpaca or something like that. And it's a 20% alpaca, 80% polyester or acrylic, I think it's polyester blend. And I had this left over from a project that I did a couple of years ago. And so it's perfect for knitting up a hat because it's incredibly warm. It's pretty soft from the alpaca, and I like the colors together. So when I finished this ball, I just moved straight into the green because I thought it'll be kind of like a color blocking thing, and I think it goes well with the style as well. So I'm very excited about that. I think that'll go nicely in the donations, and I can move on to my next project, and then again I'll do another hat after that. But my next project that I'm going to finish up, I have been working on this one off and on for a few months now. My best friend plays Magic the Gathering, and he goes to events where sometimes it's cold in the hall where they're actually playing. So I have not woven in the ends or even trimmed the ends yet on this, but this is the first one that I made. It's just a fingerless mitt so that he can keep his hands and wrists warm while he's playing, but still keep his hands, his fingers and his thumb nice and free. I made it pretty low because he shuffles his cards a lot, so having something super high up on his hand is going to probably bother him and get in the way. So I wanted something that was very not in the way, as far out of the way as possible, but also that will keep his hands warm because he does end up getting cold while he's in the halls playing Magic at like the tournaments. It has the ring motif from the Fellowship of the, oh, what is it called? I can't exactly remember, but it's a Lord of the Rings / Tolkien inspired sweater pattern, and I will see if I can look that up. But I have started the sweater for him. If you want to see that, it is linked in my Ravelry, so you can check it out there. But I've started the sweater for him. I have not completed it yet, and so in the meantime I just used one of the motifs from that. I let him choose what he wanted, and I'm just doing the ring, and then the other hand will have the same thing but mirrored, so when you put them together it kind of looks like the motif goes across his wrists. Anyway, so that is what I'm working on. I have the other one right here. I just have to finish it in order to give to him. And otherwise it's just a freeform pattern. I just made the stitch count work with the size of mitt that I wanted to make. I also wanted to briefly talk about my reading. I actually have my books with me this time. They've been sitting in the living room. Well, my Kindle hasn't, but my actual physical book has. So I am reading. This is The Days at the Tarunka Cafe by Satoshi Yagasawa, and I just wanted something that was the vibe that you see on the cover. Just something cozy and light and easy to read for when I'm feeling overwhelmed, which is a lot lately. I actually took today and tomorrow off work just for a little bit of an extra long weekend. I do that sometimes just because when I start to hit a point of burnout, I just kind of need a little bit of a break. And so I've been doing a lot of just basic, easy, simple hobby type deals. And one of the things that I enjoy doing when I need a little bit of a break in a calm time is just finding a book that is kind of light and has a good vibe. And so that's what that is for. And then I also have a book for my book club. This is on my Kindle just because I can like take notes. It's a scribe. But I'm reading Homegoing by Ya Jassi. I am my coworker and I started a book club where our coworkers can join or not join as they see fit, and we have themes each month. So last month was a LGBTQIA+, this month was historical fiction, and the book that everyone chose was Homegoing, which I was pretty excited about. I think I'm the only one who has maybe read from the author, and also I think that, or I'm just very excited. I'm just very excited to read this book. It's been on my TBR for a long time, so I'm excited to have a reason to go ahead and get to it and just read it. And I also think it'll be fun to discuss with my coworkers. So that is something that we have going on this month. And so hopefully I'll have it read by the end of the month and we can go ahead and discuss it. I have never led a book club before, but since I'm kind of co-hosting the book club, I do want to do it the right way. And my coworker who is co-hosting with me, she's kind of taken the lead on the book club, but she's also never been a part of one. So I'm gonna try to help make sure that we have like a good discussion and help to figure out how we want to lead that discussion, everything like that. So I'm very excited about it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Today I also went out and harvested a bunch of tomatoes from my garden, and I took a lot of pictures of flowers and things like that. I got a little picture of a little bumblebee and a lightning bug on a cucumber plant. So I do post pictures on my Instagram. I'm trying to keep up with that, especially with my garden pictures this year. So I just started doing that again. And so I have linked that in the description. If you're interested in seeing my garden at all, you are more than welcome to click on the link in my description and see my Instagram and see those pictures as well. But yeah, that was kind of all I had to talk about today. I do plan on doing another video tomorrow where I can show you my progress. Hopefully I'll have that knit finished, and hopefully I will have spun another single to ply up in a couple of days so that I can continue my Tour de Fleece spinning, but also just generally trying to maintain some consistency in my crafting, because I feel like my life is always a little bit better when I make sure to make time for the things that I love doing, and crafting is one of the things that I love doing. I love doing all of the fiber arts. I also sew and crochet, I think I mentioned, and I also love reading, and I love gardening, and I like going on walks and just existing in the world. So those are just kind of the things that I've been up to, and I hope that you'll come back if you've come already, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.